Magrathea Builders of Worlds. This is a war game show report. Yes, it is. Yesterday, the 14th of September, with two of my mates, Gary and John, who I regularly played Boroughs and Badgers with, we went to Colours, the Newbury and Reading Wargamers. Or was it Reading and Newbury Wargamers? I don't know. Society's annual show, Colours, at Newbury Racecourse. This is what happened. But first of all, I need to do something else, because these arrived in the post just the other day. These are the latest boxes from Only Games Crate. Only Games Crate, working with my mini factory and a whole bunch of different resin figure producers, sent them to me to have a look at. So what we're going to do very quickly is we're going to put these two boxes on the desk behind me, and we're going to have a look at the resin figures that are on offer in Only Games Crate this month. And they are both sets, science fiction and fantasy, from Titan Forge. So, Titan Forge, at the moment 20% off this month. Let's take a look at these Only Game Crates. Alright, before we have a look at these Only Games Crates, let me tell you a little bit about them. So you might have seen me talk about Only Games Crate before, right? And these have been sent out to me so I could check them out. So let me tell you a little bit about Only Games Crate. Only Games Crate, you get a crate of figures like this, either fantasy or kind of sci-fi. Not always fantasy, they might be kind of historical. So historical / fantasy or sci-fi for £10 a month plus post and packaging. That's the first bit. In that box you will get 3 grey resin figures from that month's featured manufacturer. This month, September, is Titan Forge. Not only do you get your 3 figures in the box, then you also get a discount code for all the figures that manufacturer produces. So you can go there and get more. At the moment, 20% off all Titan Forge figures, which is pretty cool. If you fancy subscribing to Only Games Crate and you haven't done so far, you can use the code in the description down below, which is my code from Only Games Crate, which means you get your first month absolutely free of charge. You do still have to pay for post and packaging, but check that out down below. Let's take a look at the figures from Titan Forge over here. We don't necessarily have time to look at every figure out of the box, and I have no idea what's in here, but we'll check them out and have a look. Cool, come over here to the workbench. Okay, very quickly then, let's take a look at the fantasy figures this month. So this is out of the crate. I've opened up 2. I've got the third one to open up, so I'm just going to get a knife very quickly. This is how they come. Each of its own little bubble wrap envelope stuck together. You can check out this month the Titan Forge website and go and see if you can find the figures. So let's have a look at the 3 Titan Forge fantasy figures. First up, we've got this really nice looking witch hunter type character. Would be great in games of Mordheim and that kind of thing, I should think. Look cool on the fantasy battle table. Really nice clear resin print. This guy's got a separate sword. Always tricky with resin. The sword looks to me like it's going to need a bit of hot water, boiling hot water action to straighten it out. But the figure's nice and clear. It's got a good, nice sculpted face. Ridiculously tall witch hunter's hat. Carrying a lantern in one hand, a sword at his belt. Nice. It comes with a 25mm round base to stick him to. That's a really nice fantasy figure actually. Yeah, great. It will look cool in Warhammer Quest, Cursed City, or that kind of thing. Very nice indeed. And accompanying him is a plague masked physician with loads of kit, big swirly coat, and loads of kind of like apothecary stuff and various other bits and pieces. A bird beaked walking stick and a big bone saw as well. Really, again, really nice figure. On a 25mm base. He would look cool. Actually, I reckon he'd look really quite cool in most fantasy games, Mordheim, that kind of thing. He could also appear easily on the streets of Venice in a game of Carnivale. So I think he's definitely going to get used by me. Third up is this really cool looking fella. Well, it was really cool, and now I'll drop the bloody weapon, which is a separate piece, and I can't find it anywhere on the floor in the workshop. But yeah, again, really nice sculpt, I think it's a big kind of crossbowy shooty kind of thing, because he looks like he's kind of like shooting stakes. Really, really nice model. Big backpack, lantern hanging on his back. These are really good quality, nicely cast resin figures. Absolutely smashing. No lines, all cleaned up really nicely. Well worth it. Now, normally when I do this, I only look at the figures out of one box, but today, just to show the absolute randomness of Only Game Crate and what you're going to get, let's have a very quick look at the sci-fi figures, because I have got on the Titan Forge website and I've checked out some of these figures, and one of the figures I got in this box today is this big bad guy. It's got its own base to stick it to, but check this out. Great big floating head. It is, well, even if we're going old school, at least 3 inches tall. Yeah, it's going to stick down on its base, and it is 8 centimetres, 8.5 centimetres top to bottom. It's a really solid piece of resin. One piece cast thing. This is some kind of psychic thing, I suppose, kind of similar to a Tyrannid, I suppose, in many ways. Some kind of psychic. Now, this model alone, if you buy this direct from Titan Forge, is 16 quid. So you don't know what you're going to get month by month, but if you'd spent a tenner on this box plus P&P, and you got your 16 quid model alone, then there are 2 other characters. They look similar to kind of like aliens, kind of colonial marines. I haven't found these on the site yet. Each one of these comes with a nice sci-fi moulded base, as opposed to a box standard round base like the fantasy figures, and they're pretty cool too. So from that point of view, nice figures. Again, really cleanly cast, absolutely no problem with any of the kind of casting. This dude's heavy weapon, heavy machine gun type thing is a bit on the bench side, so probably again needs dropping in boiling water to straighten it out. But yeah, really cool little model, and actually with kind of like targeting gear on his shoulder and all the rest of it, he's very, very similar to the kind of like these two between them, very similar to Drake and Vazquez from Aliens, if you're that old. So well worth checking out Only Games Crate. If you do want to subscribe to Only Games Crate, like I said, it's £10 a month plus postage and packing. If you haven't signed up at all, if you use my code that's at the bottom in the description and coming across the screen now, you can get your first month absolutely free. So thanks for considering that. Let's get back to the colour show report. Stop! Wait, don't go, don't go. Look, I'll come back. Look, I found it. Here's the. It was on the floor. This is the crossbow bit that goes with the duty bit from Titan Forge. Yeah, he's a geezer who is shooting a massive crossbow. I can't work out if it's on. There we go, like that. Stake shooting crossbow. Must be a vampire killer or whatever. Looks like I've got an entire witch hunter team here. Really, really cool. I'm actually going to use those. They could easily turn up in Carnivale, or they could easily work in Mordheim as well. Really nice. I don't doubt that if I looked hard enough, Titan Forge have probably got their own world and their own game they play it with, but you know, these are very, very affordable. So do check out Titan Forge this month in Only Games Crate, and I'll see you next time when we get some more. Okay, so there you go. Toys, get them. They're really cool. I look a bit tired today because it's Sunday the 15th of September, and yesterday was a really long day. It was started at stupid o'clock in the morning when my mates John and Gary turned up at my house at 10 past 6, thanks John, 6:30 yesterday morning, and we got up, jumped in the van, loaded it up. It was mostly loaded. We did the 115-mile drive to Newbury Racecourse from my house. We got to Newbury Racecourse at about 9 o'clock. And we got unloaded into the centre, and got on the Wargaming show. Newbury Racecourse is a great venue for a show. It was in the main grandstand at the racecourse, right next to the track. The first 2 floors, the ground floor and the first floor, or if you're in America, the first floor and the second floor, were full of retailers. All retailers on the bottom floor, the middle floor. So the first floor, retailers who had demo games, and then on the top floor was all the demonstration and participation. On the top floor, all the demonstration and participation games. And Gary and John took trolleys up. Look, you can check out. This is all the gear on trolleys to go up. That's me and Gary there. John took that photograph. The guys took them into the lift, took them up to the top store, and I went and parked the van. And when I actually got up to the top floor of the grandstand, I was delighted to find that our table was in an absolutely really peachy spot. It was literally the first table that members of the public would see when they walked onto the floor, which is really, really cool. So, what do we take? Well, we took a Boroughs and Badgers game. It was kind of like Boroughs and Badgers on steroids, really. It was a 9 foot by 4.5 foot table as part of our kind of like London campaign. This is the Siege of London. B&B, of course, is a small-scale skirmish game. It's designed for war bands of kind of 4 to 10 figures, and we went there to play basic games to introduce people to the game. So we didn't need to take a 9 foot by 4.5 foot table, because the games we were actually playing were only taking up 2 to 3 feet. But what we did was we decided we'd showcase a whole load of the rest of our hobby, which means having out the Siege of London, which is fantastic. So the game was played at each end of the table, and then there was a whole load of window dressing in the middle. We had a fantastic day. The game was extremely eye-catching. It was very interesting because the colours this year was almost entirely historical games. I think our game was the only game that was fantasy, and I don't recall seeing any sci-fi either, which is really interesting. A lot of gaming nowadays in the UK is fantasy or science fiction based, but the colours yesterday, historical games from, I think, the 2nd century BCE all the way up to Second World War stuff. But we were the only fantasy game there, so we looked quite different. And there were games there from 28, 32mm like ours, and the really cool 0200 hours game being run by another group at 28mm also, down to teeny tiny 3mm. I'm not a fan. But you know, there was a whole load of stuff. So in this video, what are we going to do? Oh yeah, in this video we are going to see a bunch of our table and the action around the site. This is only the games. I did not get a chance to get a video camera down onto the retailer stands or the retailers with the games. This is just the games on the top floor. So this video is going to be mostly me now wandering around the colours on September 2024, waffling about the different games. There might be the odd conversation with the odd guy who's putting games on. Here we go. Check out our table, our colours. It's kind of cool. Woohoo! Some light in here. Hello. Welcome to the Magrathea Builder Of Worlds and Colours, the Wargame show at the Newbury Racecourse. Check this out. Going over here to the racecourse. It's very green. We are on the 3rd floor where all the games are happening, which is pretty cool. So today we have a reduced number of Magrathea Builder Of Worlds crew because it's bloody early. We had to get up super early to get here. But this is what our table's looking like. Come over here, come with me. I'm very pleased with this.
Let's be fair.
So we're playing the Great Siege of London again on a slightly reduced size compared to Salute, but I think actually the table looks cooler. The beginning of this.
Two things you can do. Move and then move again.
Fire, the city burns. So we're already playing participation games. We could try and get around the whole show today. Shouldn't take very long. It's not as big as Salute, but there's some pretty cool looking games. So, I mean, there's us, right, which is this massive thing. And then just next door, teeny tiny. It's wicked. Love this thing. Alright, so this show is run by the Newbury and Reading Wargamers show. I'm walking up this end of the hall on the gaming hall first of all. We'll go and look at traders later. Big B&B. That's not Boroughs and Badgers on this occasion, it's a bring and buy. Big ass queue for the bring and buy here. And then we're straight into games. Teeny tiny scale. Unshots war games. Tiny World War II action in Russia by the looks of it. Very pretty. And then over here, we look like paint. Oh, we've got 10mm by the looks of these. Japan. Nice castle. Braille scale Japanese dude. Coming across here. I thought that was Braille scale. This is even more Braille scale.
Hello, my friend. How are you?
Yeah, I'm good. Cheers. What are we playing today?
Borodino.
This is a bloody big battle, yeah.
Yeah, this is the full Borodino. There's
So
the second one over there.
This is Braille scale.
Yeah.
Napoleonics.
Braille scale.
Braille scale. I like.
This is where you can play a full battle mate in a day.
Yeah, I don't doubt that. I'll be like, what the f.
Go and see it.
Hey, I'm cute though. No, I'm good. I'm going to zoom right in. Look.
Yeah, go on. See what you got to do, mate.
All about the Mass Effect.
Nice.
250,000 men.
Yeah, that's not 250,000 men though, is it really? I mean, that's like, you know.
Well, it's more than you get on most war game tables.
Well, no, you're not wrong there. No, that's because of. Nice.
It's not 12 blokes taking a fight for
You haven't got four men. You haven't got four figures and a small dog.
So who makes the figures?
Mounts
Backus the figures. Nice. Very good. Lovely. Have a good day. Thank you. Cheers. Now I love this because this is a completely different colour apart from everything else. Check out the orange here.
We don't get together.
Autumnal Battle, Napoleonics. Very big. That is a lot of soldiers. Although the downside of these is you get that. Oh, okay.
We don't take it too seriously. It's just
Couple of crap outs. And over here, more Napoleon by the looks of things. 15mm Napoleonics here. Bloody enormous. Okay, so our team today is only me and my mate John over here running the game down this end of Suicide Squad trying to blow up ammo dump, and the mighty Gary over this end running gang fights in the streets of London. The town is now on fire. The enemy bombers are flying in. The Harrier just raptors and launched.
What are you going to do with him?
how far does it do?
Yes, I managed to get inside the building now.
Nice. This is 0200, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, which I only discovered recently as a system, and I thought, what a great concept. A friend of mine was playing a whole load of figures for it. He's like, surely you've come across 0200. I haven't. It's like, what a great idea for a game.
We've had some good games with it.
Yeah.
So deal with it, and then you think, well, that's not.
But it's
And you can still add in the old house with it.
yeah, I'm very much a skirmish gamer, so I like every figure you paint being useful on the tabletop, you know, and it's really, really cool. So this is British paratroopers somewhere over there, attacking Rommel's, trying to find Rommel and kill off Rommel in his headquarters. Ooh.
line of sight of him.
I'm not so sure.
Lovely.
The 2 inches would take him to that window.
This is my favourite game here, apart from my
2
own.
inches and then
He'll be in the open for returning fire.
yeah, but York is behind you, so he gets a
Really nicely presented as well. Smashing looking game. Who makes the building? Who's the house from? War Cradle.
It's called Tilling Guns.
behind you.
It's very nice. Cool. Nice little gangster game back in here. Lots of MDF. Cool. Cops, gangsters. Very good. I like it. Yet another massive. Oh, you know, 15mm this This is demo rather than participation module. General Army. This is a demonstration game. Using English Civil War set, then not. Oh, here we go.
So here we have a potential
Yeah, I've got the best guy to use, so my only option is to shoot back at first.
How many goes do you have? 2. Yeah, so basically we've got the
So I'll take a shot at you. Should I?
Nice looking 25mm 18th century war game. Nobody explaining what's going on though. Board wife. 28mm Finland the war. Nice snow terrain, white snow terrain.
just go over it, sprinkle it with sand, and then dry brush it, and at the end just put the odd bit of snow with UVK.
Yeah.
And then this is the same procedure, but seal it, put some blue paint in with the white pillar, and then paint it, and then just put clear plastic over it.
I have Russian. Oh really?
Yeah.
This is quite nice. The Newbury and Reading Wargamers provide a whole bunch of tabletop board games for people to try and play, which is pretty cool. Nice. You'll note we're up upstairs still. It's very, very cool. Haven't even got any video downstairs. This is just the games. DBM game. Reading Wargamers. Ancients. Again, lots of figures on the table. It looks great, but nobody really there to kind of like help me out and tell me what's going on. This show is almost entirely historical games, one way or another, which is very interesting. You know, I mean, larger shows have a lot more kind of fantasy science fiction bits and pieces. Our game is the only fantasy game I can see here, to be honest. I regard the time. Scale of these guys? 10mm. 10mm. They're some tiny toys here today.
These are getting far too tiny for my eyes at this age.
Yeah.
I used to picture 1/200 tanks and you're bringing by and thinking that.
It went very bloody.
This was Operation Sea Lion. It was. And were the Germans repulsed, or have they marched inland already?
No, the Germans were definitely repulsed.
Excellent. Huzzah! God save the king. I like this board because it's got sculpted terrain. I like sculpted terrain. Proper cliffs and hills and things. Very nice. Okay, Mahusiv Napoleonic game. The 15mm. I mean, it's huge. There's nobody here now. It's towards the end of the day, as you can see. In a skirmish game, this is another one of my favourite looking games here today. Because everything makes sense. 100 Years' War. Nice. I like your trees. Your table makes sense. The figures are nice. Wheels come off your wagon.
Oh yeah, it's not. Yeah, the guys want to get a sandwich, but whatever it is. Is that the other side?
Seats on full.
Okay, go straight over it. With you, you've got something called slippery. Is one of your ones. So if you're in case of fighting, if you're practicing combat,
Six in total, two wounds. He's looking at what we need. 2, 3. Down. Yeah. Looking all up. There you go. That's 6. So
How many rounds attacking the bear?
11.
So then grubs are running.
7, 8, 9.
Hairs are on the ground. That's excellent. Okay. It's about 4:30 on Saturday afternoon at Colours. And it's safe to say we're all a bit tired now because some of us were up at stupid o'clock this morning to go to a wargame show, which is a bit nuts. Gary was up at about 5:45. Yep. John was up at about 3 o'clock. Fuck knows why. But look, he's still going. And I got up at 6:10 when John knocked on my door because he doesn't know the difference between 6:10 and 6:30. Anyway, we came all the way to Newbury Racecourse. We set up this table, which I've got to say, even at this end of the day, is still looking pretty gosh darn sexy. And to cap it all, Magrathea Builder of Worlds and gang have won the best gaming show today. So it's not about the winning, but oh yes, that is not whimsy, everybody. That's reality. Magrathea. Well, there you go, that was nice. I don't go to shows to win prizes. I go to shows to play games with people, talk hobby and meet the people out there. Just chat, get ideas about what to do next. So it's really nice to go and win a prize. So before we go any further, I've got to say massive shout out to Gary and John, because they pretty much did most of the work yesterday. They did the playing of the games and introducing people to this our hobby and this brilliant game. I did get to run one game, but most of the time I spent the time talking, chatting, talking hobby, talking Magrathea Builder Worlds, talking about making scenery. I've got to go off and video a couple of times. I didn't buy much at the show. Doesn't mean I didn't spend a lot. What did I buy yesterday? I did buy Block War,
for Judge Dredd. I bought some resin scenery from Debris of War, just some little crates and bits and pieces, and I bought myself a new case from KR. I'm chatting with the guy there, great, and I mean I've got a couple of KR cases, really cool. And then of course when we won, I've got to go and get another case from KR. Can never have too many cases for your figures, can you? So thank you if you took the time to stop by and see our game yesterday, take photographs, chat with any of us. Thanks if you played. I do know that several people who played Barons and Badgers for the first time yesterday went off downstairs to one of the bookstores and bought themselves copies of the books because they waved them at me later on. So thank you very much for that. I'm really pleased. Nothing's more flattering than you enjoy our game so much you go and jump into the game. Michael J, if you're watching this, new customers coming your way. So if you enjoyed this video, please do give it a like, leave a comment, especially if you were at the show yesterday. Give us a shout out and say hi, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. If you're one of the new people who hadn't seen my channel before, then welcome. Go back and check out all the material beforehand, especially the Barrows and Badgers stuff. There's lots and lots of it. And if you really want to support this channel, if you've already clicked like and subscribe and done all those kind of things and left comments to help the algorithms, you can also support my Patreon at patreon.com/Magrathea Builder Of Worlds. Yesterday, very conveniently, Rob, who was the winner of my last main Patreon competition, was able to swing by the stand by our table and pick up his Wild West Saloon. And it was great chatting with him and Andrew again and swapping tales about building scenery and playing games and all that kind of thing. So lovely to meet you guys again. Having seen you at Salute earlier this year, that was really cool. I got to meet people who have been watching my channel since the start. I've got to meet people who only watched the one video or so, which they found by accident, and people who have never watched any of our stuff at all. And that's absolutely fine. But now you're here, keep watching. So what else have we got to say? Well, nothing really. I've got to get packed up now and get building and carrying on because I'm actually working on a build for Carnivale. So, thanks very much for watching Magrathea Builder Worlds. I'll see you next time.